Imagine a Hollywood bombshell dropping a secret that flips everything you thought you knew about a beloved TV show. Ready for the truth behind the laughter? The glitz and glamour of Three's Company, the 1970s sitcom that had America roaring with laughter, hid a darker story of betrayal, greed, and heartbreak. And now, at 75, Joyce DeWitt is pulling back the curtain on it all. This isn't just a nostalgic trip down memory lane. It's a roller coaster of shocking confessions and dramatic twists that changed lives forever. Let's dive into the chaos that shaped this iconic show, the stars who fought through it, and the jaw-dropping financial moves that defined their journeys. Because what happened off-screen is wilder than any script. Joyce DeWitt, the fierce Janet Wood, was the heart of Three's Company, a show about three roommates, Jack, Janet, and Chrissy, navigating life and love in a Santa Monica apartment. Back in 1977, it was a daring concept. A man pretending to be gay to live with two women, pushing boundaries like All in the Family did with social issues. But behind the scenes, the set was a battleground. DeWitt recently revealed a gut-punching truth. The male star, John Ritter, was paid 5 times more than his female co-stars. When one actress dared to demand fair pay, the network didn't just say no, they crushed her. They forced her to film alone, turned her friends against her, and blacklisted her from Hollywood. Can you believe the show that preached friendship was torn apart by such betrayal? This wasn't just a paycheck dispute. It was a fight for dignity that left scars. The journey to Three's Company's creation was a gamble from the start. In 1976, Fred Silverman, ABC's bold new programming chief, was hungry for a hit. He stumbled across a British sitcom, Man About the House, and saw gold in its premise. 2 women and a man sharing an apartment. Networks had rejected it, calling it too risky. But Silverman, fresh from CBS, wouldn't let it go. He tapped producers Don Taftner and Ted Bergman to Americanize it, demanding something fresh yet relatable. Early attempts missed the mark. Broadway writer Peter Stone set the story in glitzy New York with a chef, a secretary, and a fashion model, but it felt too elite for middle America. Silverman scrapped it, knowing viewers needed something grounded, like a Santa Monica vibe. Enter Larry Gelbart, the MASH genius, who reluctantly took a swing with his son-in-law, Gary Markowitz. They reimagined the trio as David Bell, a filmmaker who cooked, Jenny, a DMV worker, and Samantha, a struggling actress living in the Hacienda Palms. Markowitz coined the title Three's Company, and though Gelbart didn't stick around, his vision set the tone. Funny, familiar, and just a little daring. But here's a hook that'll make your jaw drop. The show almost didn't happen because they couldn't find the perfect Chrissy Snow. Casting was a high-stakes drama. The day before filming, ABC was scrambling. No one had nailed Chrissy. Silverman, burning the midnight oil, sifted through audition tapes and spotted Suzanne Summers, a face he remembered from The Tonight Show. She'd been rejected without reason, but Silverman wasn't having it. He called her in, and just like that, Summers became Chrissy, lighting up screens for 8 seasons and 170 episodes. Her casting was a game changer, but John Ritter's role as Jack Tripper was nearly derailed too. Producers worried his over-the-top comedy made Jack seem too convincingly gay, threatening the plot's premise. Some pushed to replace him with contenders like Barry Van Dyke or Billy Crystal, but Silverman put his foot down. Ritter stays. Thank goodness, because Ritter's pratfalls and charm won him an Emmy and a Golden Globe, turning a perceived flaw into the show's heartbeat. DeWitt, too, showed grit early on. Just 6 episodes in, she refused a line that insulted a character, standing firm even when pressured. "Bring a gun," she told producers. "I won't say it." When ABC later reneged on a promised raise, she marched to the network head, demanding integrity, not just money. She got her raise and a reputation as a force. Why did these stars risk everything? Because they believed in something bigger than fame. The show's premiere on March 15, 1977, was a long shot, meant for just 6 episodes. Yet viewers fell in love, ranking the first episode 28th for the week. By episode 6, it was a hit, climbing to number 11 for the 1976-77 season with a 23.1 rating. ABC renewed it, slotting it after Happy Days and Laverne and Shirley, and it soared to number 3 the next year, then number 2 with a 30.3 rating. Nearly a third of U.S. households tuned in, making it a cultural juggernaut. But not everyone cheered. Conservative groups like the National Federation for Decency slammed its suggestive humor, pressuring sponsors to pull ads. Some did, but ABC stood firm, and the controversy only boosted viewership. Amid the chaos, Three's Company quietly revolutionized TV, showing that family could mean friends who support each other like siblings. This paved the way for Friends and Will and Grace, proving its lasting impact. Now personally, I love Suzanne Summers' financial empire, because her money moves are as bold as her casting story. Summers, once a struggling actress, built a fortune through savvy ventures. She's driven luxury cars like a Mercedes-Benz S-Class and owns a $35 million Palm Springs estate, plus a private jet for cross-country trips. Her watch collection includes a diamond-encrusted Rolex, a nod to her glamorous image. Beyond acting, she's a business mogul, launching the Thigh Master, a fitness product that grossed over $100 million. She's authored bestsellers on health and wellness, inked deals with QVC, and holds stakes in real estate ventures. Her insurance game is tight too. Comprehensive health policies and asset protection plans have safeguarded her wealth since her early days. What's the lesson? Summers teaches us to diversify income streams and bet on yourself. Her spending is strategic, balancing luxury with investments, unlike many stars who burn through cash. But here's a hook to keep you glued. What secret financial struggle did she overcome to build this empire? DeWitt's story, meanwhile, is one of resilience. Her Hollywood blacklist after demanding fair pay was a low point, but she bounced back, starring in theater and TV movies. Her past as Janet, the grounded roommate, contrasts with her present advocacy for actors' rights, showing her enduring impact. Ritter's tragic loss in 2003 still stings. His comedic genius defined the show, and his Emmy win cemented his legacy. Summers' shocking confession about the pay gap and her blacklist ordeal adds layers to her journey from TV darling to business titan. These stars faced financial struggles and dramatic developments, yet their choices, DeWitt's integrity, Ritter's persistence, Summers' hustle, offer lessons in navigating Hollywood's highs and lows. What if the show that defined a generation was hiding a scandal so big it nearly broke its stars? As Three's Company soared to the top of the charts in the late 1970s, the laughter on screen masked a storm of betrayal, ambition, and heartbreak behind the scenes. Picking up where we left off, the Santa Monica trio, Jack, Janet, and Chrissy, captivated millions, but the real drama was unfolding off-camera, where Joyce DeWitt, John Ritter, and Suzanne Summers fought battles that would redefine their lives. From shocking confessions to financial gambles, their stories are a masterclass in resilience and hustle. Let's dive into the chaos, the courage, and the jaw-dropping money moves that shaped their journeys. Because this Hollywood tale is about to get even wilder. The show's meteoric rise came with a price. By 1978, Three's Company was a cultural phenomenon, but a Newsweek cover shoot stirred up trouble. The cast, expecting a fun spotlight on their comedy, was blindsided by a provocative pose they didn't sign up for. DeWitt was livid, Ritter felt uneasy, and Summers, despite her rising fame, was caught off guard. The media spun their wholesome slapstick into something scandalous, shifting the show's image overnight. This wasn't just a PR misstep. It fractured trust among the cast, who felt betrayed by the network's marketing ploy. Can you imagine pouring your heart into a role only to see it twisted for headlines? That tension set the stage for bigger battles, especially for Summers, whose bold moves were about to shake Hollywood. Suzanne Summers was no ordinary star. While playing the bubbly Chrissy Snow, she was quietly building an empire. In a daring gamble, she handed her entire first-season salary, $21,000 from 6 episodes, to manager Jay Bernstein, the genius behind Farrah Fawcett's fame. Her deal? Make me a superstar, or it's all for nothing. At the time, Three's Company was a risky mid-season replacement, but Summers saw the long game. Bernstein worked magic, landing her on 55 magazine covers in a year, transforming her into a household name. Her passion, which Bernstein compared to Sammy Davis Jr.'s, fueled her rise from a struggling single mom to a TV icon. But here's a hook that'll stop you in your tracks. Did you know she was earning just a fraction of her co-star's paycheck despite her massive draw? By 1980, John Ritter was banking $150,000 per episode, while Summers and DeWitt scraped by on $30,000 each. Summers, whose Chrissy was a ratings magnet for women aged 18 to 49, knew the gap was unfair. Male stars like Alan Alda were raking in 6 figures weekly, so why not her? She rallied her co-stars, promising, "If you back me, we'll all win." Her husband, Alan Hamill, a former TV producer, led negotiations, but ABC's response was brutal. "Who do you think you are? Ritter's the star," they sneered, offering a measly $5,000 raise. When Summers stood firm, the network didn't just reject her, they punished her. What secret plan did they hatch to crush her dreams? The fallout was devastating. ABC, still stinging from a costly pay raise for Laverne and Shirley stars, decided to make an example of Summers. They slashed her role to 60 seconds per episode, despite her contract, forcing her to film alone in a basement set. Her scenes, once vibrant with Ritter and DeWitt, became isolated phone calls, a humiliating demotion. The network's message was clear: step out of line, and you're done. Summers' bold stand for equal pay didn't just cost her Chrissy, it led to a Hollywood blacklist that stalled her acting career. Yet, her hustle never stopped. She pivoted to entrepreneurship, launching the Thigh Master, which grossed $100 million and built a real estate portfolio including a $35 million Palm Springs estate. Her luxury lifestyle shines through her Mercedes-Benz S-Class, a private jet, and a Rolex collection, all backed by smart insurance policies, health and asset protection plans that secured her wealth. Her lesson? Bet on yourself, but diversify to weather the storms. Meanwhile, DeWitt faced her own struggles. Her refusal to compromise her values, like rejecting a scripted line that didn't fit Janet's character, earned her respect but also enemies. When ABC reneged on a raise, she confronted the network head, winning her fight but cementing her reputation as a rebel. Her past as the grounded Janet contrasts with her present advocacy for actors' rights, a testament to her enduring strength. Ever wonder how one choice can change your legacy forever? DeWitt's integrity did just that. Ritter, the show's comedic genius, wasn't immune to drama either. His physical comedy, once questioned by producers, made him a star, but the Newsweek fiasco left him rattled. His tragic loss in 2003 still haunts fans, yet his Emmy and Golden Globe underscore his unmatched talent. Back then, his $150,000 per episode paycheck was a fortune, but his real wealth was his loyalty to the cast. He supported DeWitt's stand and tried to bridge divides, even as Summers' exit strained the set. The show's theme song, "Come and Knock on Our Door," nearly took a wild turn too. Producers wanted the cast to sing it, but their voices didn't cut it. Composer Joe Raposo brought in Ray Charles, not the legend but a TV pro, and Julia Rinker Miller, backed by elite musicians like Hal Blaine. The result? An iconic anthem that still echoes today. But here's a hook to keep you hooked. What hidden tension nearly tore the cast apart for good? As Three's Company hit its peak, these stars faced financial struggles, shocking betrayals, and dramatic shifts that tested their resolve. Their journeys, from Summers' empire-building to DeWitt's quiet resilience and Ritter's lasting legacy, show that Hollywood's glitz comes with grit. What if the final chapter of a Hollywood legend revealed a secret that could rewrite its legacy? As Three's Company barreled toward its bittersweet end in 1984, the Santa Monica apartment that once buzzed with laughter became a battleground of heartbreak, betrayal, and redemption. Joyce DeWitt, John Ritter, and Suzanne Summers, the trio who redefined sitcoms, faced their toughest storms yet. Shocking confessions, financial gambles, and dramatic twists that tested their spirits. This isn't just the close of a show, it's a saga of resilience, forgiveness, and jaw-dropping wealth-building that'll leave you inspired. Let's dive into the chaos, the courage, and the money moves that shaped their final act. Because this Hollywood finale is unforgettable. The show's decline was palpable after Summers' exit in 1981. Producers scrambled, bringing in Jenna Lee Harrison as Cindy Snow, Chrissy's cousin, but the magic was gone. Fans didn't connect with Cindy's forced silliness, and ratings plummeted from top 10 to 20th. Writers struggled, giving Cindy minimal storylines, and soon realized they needed a fresh face. Enter Priscilla Barnes as Terry Alden, a sharp nurse, but her arrival was marred by tension. Producers micromanaged her, dictating her hair color, weekly weigh-ins, and outfits she found uncomfortable. Barnes later called her 3 years on the show pure misery, yet she stayed until the end. Can you imagine the strength it takes to smile through that kind of control? The comedy faltered too. Ritter's Jack Tripper carried more humor, but it wasn't enough. Writers leaned on Don Knotts' Mr. Furley, whose wild reactions kept laughs alive, but the spark was fading. DeWitt, as Janet, pitched bold ideas, like opening a flower shop, but producers played it safe, marrying Janet off in a finale that felt out of character. Viewership dropped by a fifth, and ABC nearly canceled early, only letting it limp to syndication. Amid the chaos, Norman Fell's story broke hearts. As Mr. Roper, he loved his role, but in 1979, producers pushed him into a spin-off, The Ropers. Fell hesitated, fearing failure, but signed on after a written promise. If The Ropers tanked, he and Audrey Lindley could return. The spin-off debuted strong, hitting the top 10, but ABC's bizarre move to a weak Saturday night slot tanked ratings. When the show was canceled in 1980, the return clause had just expired. Fell suspected ABC delayed the acts to avoid bringing him back, especially with Knotts as Mr. Furley. A final guest appearance in 1981 was all he got, leaving a sting of betrayal. But here's a hook that'll grip you. What secret discovery rocked the cast in the final season? DeWitt stumbled into a room and learned producers were secretly auditioning for a spin-off, Three's a Crowd, with Ritter's Jack getting a new girlfriend. Ritter knew but hadn't told the cast, shattering their trust. The set turned cold, and the once-tight family felt fractured. Summers, meanwhile, made a bold move. Years after her blacklist, her husband, Alan Hamill, pitched her return as Jack's wife in the spin-off. ABC, still bitter, shut it down, having cast Mary Cadorette. The spin-off flopped anyway, lacking the original trio's magic and buckling under competition from the A-Team. Ritter, offered a short season, demanded a full commitment and walked away when ABC refused. In 2003, a month before Ritter's tragic loss at 54, he called Summers out of the blue. "Hey babe, I forgive you," he said, breaking a 20-year silence. Stunned, Summers nearly retorted, "You forgive me?" but held back. He invited her for a cameo on 8 Simple Rules, but she suggested a bigger project. They never got the chance, but that call healed old wounds. DeWitt, reflecting years later, focused on the fans. People told her Three's Company was their safe haven, helping them through tough times. She called it a blessing, realizing the show's heart, friendship, and trust outshone its struggles. Barnes, despite her misery, rebuilt her career in film.